Episode 18. This is the Dandin and RJ Machismo podcast. My homie RJ won't be here tonight, so we are privileged and it's an honor to have the OG, Ron of Illery of Long
Thank you for
Beach.
having me, man.
Hey man, first and foremost, it's a pleasure to having you. So, me as a friend of yours and a customer of yours as well. I just want to say I appreciate everything that you've done, like for my shoes, and then for the sneaker community and the knowledge that me and you like talk about as far as like life and sneakers, and then like what you always say, you love what you do and do what you love. So I appreciate you, having, coming on tonight.
Hey, man. Thank you, Dan, and thank you, RJ, for having me, even though RJ's not here. I definitely understand as a father, putting your kids to bed, that's most important. So do your thing and jump in when you can. But thank you guys for having me, man. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your business, both you guys.
Hey, man, you got, like I said, you do a lot of dope stuff. So, like, I want to, like, break off before we start. I know this shirt was the designer from Doggy Style, right? It was the Snoop Dogg, I guess the artist that.
Yeah, Joe Kizzle, he's the one who did the artwork for Doggy Style.
Yeah.
And I contacted him. I was like, "Yo, what's up, Joe? Can you do a design for us?" And he was like, "Definitely." He came down to the shop because he wanted to get the vibe for it, And then when he a couple of days later, when he pulled up with a design, I was like, "Man, this is perfect." So shout out to Joe Kizzle for doing our artwork on that shirt that Dan's wearing, and thank you, Dan, for wearing it.
Hey, man, I had to support the cause. I'm one of those people. Like, if I have a homie, what I'm saying, like you, I support 100%. So, that's how you, for me, that's how you do good, do good business. Like you
Right.
You treat me like a customer. I don't ask for anything in return, as far as like discounts or anything. You're very fair as far as like, your pricing. So, much appreciated, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, my rent is low, so I try to translate that out.
For sure. All right, Ron. So just a little icebreaker for you. So tell us more about yourself.
I'm just a family man, trying to do the family thing. Everything that's the best for them is what I'm trying to do. Sometimes I got to make some decisions on my own, but that's all right. That's what being a man is about,
Cool, man. So how many kids do you have?
I have 4, a 20-year-old, 17-year-old, 13-year-old, and and those are all girls. And then my son, I finally had a boy.
There you go.
He's 1. He just turned 1.
Oh man, happy belated to the little one.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, so what's it like to being, a girl dad for the first, for the first 3?
Oh man, what's funny is I was just talking to my wife about it too, but taking care of a boy is way harder than taking care of a girl. I mean, this little boy is tough, but my mom was saying, "Hey, you were exactly the same way," and I think I turned out all right. So hopefully he will too.
That's cool though. So, like, how many did you have? Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have 2 older sisters.
Okay.
One lives out in Colorado, and one lives the town over in Carson. So.
Oh, okay.
But I talk to them all the time. Thank God I can. So.
Hey, that's good.
Technology.
Yeah. So hopefully, like hopefully your all your family are well and safe. During these crazy times that we're living in.
Sorry about that.
No worries. You're good.
Yeah, we're good, man. Everyone's safe. I hope your family is. Seems like they are, because you work in the actual industry, right?
Yeah. So I work with Leo's wife in Irvine. So
right.
Now we're all working from home. So that's long as a long drive for me, and then I guess for Leo's wife, but. It is what it is, man,
Damn, it's in Corona?
Not Corona, man. Irvine.
Oh, damn, Irvine is far as hell too. Irvine
Corona's
is far
farther,
as heck
bro.
too.
Corona is so much farther.
Oh yeah, definitely,
For
definitely.
sure, man. For sure. All right, man. So next question for you, Ron. What inspired you to open up a sneaker store slash restoration shops? And then how did you get the name Illery?
Well, it's always been a dream of mine. I used to do sneaker conventions with Jeff from Riff LA, and when he opened up his shop, man, I was so happy and proud for him because he was doing it for a long time. You know, the reselling and stuff like that. That inspired me. Like, man, if I open up a shop, I'm gonna do like custom work and stuff too. And you know, back then, nothing was falling apart, so there really wasn't a restoration game. It was just a custom game. You know, so I was like, man, if I open up a spot, shoot, that'd be perfect. And I think the Boys and Girls Club that I was at had let me go. And I was like, man, let's open up this shop. Open up the shop. Custom started coming in. And it was good. But rent was too high at the time, and I had to close that shop. It was called Loaded, living off of determination every day. So that was the first one I had. It was in Carson.
Oh, okay.
And the second one I had was the one that was in Fullerton. And the hiatus between closing Loaded and opening up Soul Assassins was I got hired again to the Boys and Girls Club, which I must say thank you to the Boys and Girls Club and all the opportunities that they do for these young kids. And that's why whenever I can, I try to donate my time to the Boys and Girls Club as well. So yeah, and then the name Illery, I was in a band. I played the bass and the guitar, and my name was Artillery. But and the name of the group was called ART. So when the band broke up, I just took the ART off and just stayed with Illery, and that's just how it became. And I liked it because back in the days we used to say shit was ill, and I just love bringing that whole like vintage saying back of just being ill. So that's why it's Illery.
That's dope, man. So were you in like what kind of band is it, like alternative? Like what type of band?
It was a hip hop band with Leomar.
Oh, he's a drummer, right?
Yeah, he played the drums, bass, and guitar. Man, that dude could do everything, and his production was nice too.
What?
Shout out to Leo.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring him on, man. Shout out to Leomar, man. So
Yeah.
that's dope. So I'm sure you still now play the bass, right? From time to time.
No.
No.
Sometimes I pick up the guitar, you know, and I play old riffs that I remember, but I haven't learned any new songs or anything like that. So.
Oh, that's dope. How long were you in the band for?
I want to say from 2000 up to, let's say 2004, 2005.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we released an album. It was called ART, Illustrations of Sound.
Okay.
I don't know where that's available at now, but
You gotta bless us with with the Apple Music, man. You need to upload that music.
Yeah. When I get a chance to, definitely.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm interested now. I want to hear some of that.
You know who has it is Leo.
Oh,
Leo has it.
Okay.
Yeah. He has all of it too. Hit him up.
I'm gonna hit him up. So you guys got it. I'm sure you guys got it on dub, like on a tape, CD.
Yeah, we got it on a CD back when CDs was hot.
Okay. The CD burner joints.
I can't even remember the last time I bought a CD. Jeez.
Yeah, I still buy CDs, like the hard copy ones, the ones I really like. Like I buy one. So for sure, that's cool, man. So next question for you, Ron. A nice segue. You first started. I know you worked with the Boys and Girls Club. So you first started off, to try to get to know these kids with a customization and a designing class called Kicks 101, and that's when you were working the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah. How big of an inspiration did these classes inspire you to open up your own store?
You know, when I started teaching the class, the store was already up, but the inspiration for me was the different type of people, the different type of kids that would come in for this class. It was the whole spectrum, and that's what I like about it, because it represents the sneakerhead. We're on a whole spectrum of music types, you know, religious beliefs, political beliefs, or whatever, and we all came together to do this art thing. And the pieces that came out of there, some were fresh, some were not so fresh, but you know, we worked week by week. It was once a week, and shoot, we turned some kids' kicks into some pieces of art.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope. So you're telling me that you had all walks of, you know, ethnicity. You said you had like gangsters, you know, 10-year-olds, 8-year-old kids, kids in high school, kids in college.
Cheerleaders would come in and work on their shoes too.
Wow. So what was that like, having like a mixture of like people, like, and then you're just there, you know, teaching you know, something that you love?
Well, it was more like the spreading of love, because like I said, this is something that I love to do, and the shop was open by then. And the good thing about the Boys and Girls Club is if you're really good, you could teach them what you love, you know, because at the Boys and Girls Club, what it is experiences. You know, if you went on a trip to, let's say, visit the fire station and see the firefighters, chances are that day you'll think about, man, I wonder if I was a firefighter, right? And that was good. Some of these kids lived probably less than a mile, or probably about 1.5 miles from the beach, but have never been. You know, and during the summer, we would take them to the beach, and they would tell me all the time, man, I live right there. I'd never been to the beach. All they knew was that city block, you know? So if you gave them opportunities to see something that they could aspire to be, that was the best thing, you know? And for me to show them, hey, this is the thing that I love, maybe you should try it, you know? And when they tried it, for that hour or two that we were sitting there painting shoes, concentrated, not thinking about the world outside. You know, it's taking them away from maybe some of the pains they had, or maybe they had a rough day. And most times that was the hardest part too, was because if the kids had a rough day, you can't be having a bad day, or you can't be showing that you have a bad day, because some of those kids see you as the light, and what you're reflecting. If you're reflecting something negative, they always feel it, you know? So yeah, that was the best part, was them aspiring to be something when we took them somewhere, us showing them colleges, you know, and then now they're really thinking, man, this is right down the street. I could really be at this college. You know, that's something else. But if you're in the life and all you see is, you know, people fighting at school and, you know, stuff like that, what are you going to aspire to be if that's all you're being subjected to, is that negativity of that life? Maybe I was in one area where the whole block was this one certain gang, and that's all they saw was that basically four blocks of brick and mortar every day. There was a liquor store in there, so they didn't have to go anywhere. It was all like they had this boundary that they couldn't cross. But when we took them to places like the beach, you know, the park and stuff like that, it was free stuff that we were taking them to. Just see the smiles on their faces, and just being a kid is the best way I can describe it. If you had a really good life as a child, being a kid, it says something. And some of these kids didn't have it. You know, they were forced to be raised really fast because, you know, they need to be put in life or whatever. So
yeah, that's great, man. Because I know for you, I'm sure like you had that counselor slash big brother role for these, you know, these kids that look up to you, because, you know, like you were saying, whatever you say to them or how your attitude was during that day, it's just gonna fall back on them for the, you know, for the rest of that session with them. So
yeah.
I know how, no matter if you had you know, a bad day, you see those kids at the Boys and Girls Club, that, you know, that brings a smile in your face, so that, you know what, I'm here now. I'm actually want to just, you know, have fun and then whatever life takes me, the next day, so be it. And I think that's dope that you're able to share those experiences with those kids. So yeah, that's really great, man. Like you have a big impact in those kids' lives. So
Yeah.
you know, man, yeah, to get touch you it's a
Yeah, it's
soft
kind of
spot,
touchy,
right?
right? They still text me and hit me up on Instagram and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I like seeing them grow up. A lot of them got kids already, and they're starting their own families. So I'm really proud that I see a lot of them doing good.
Oh, that's awesome, man. See, Boys and Girls Club. So you still donate your time to this day, like when
Yeah,
you have the chance.
even at my engineering job, I I was a chairperson for their giveaway, and we were able to funnel all those donations to the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah,
Man,
we
that's
usually
awesome.
we usually do it's like a Thanksgiving drive, like canned
Okay.
food and such, and then we added a monetary thing too, and we had our Long Beach site and our Monrovia site compete against each other, and they donated to their local Boys and Girls Clubs in that area. So Monrovia was donating to the Monrovia Boys and Girls Club, and Long Beach was donating to the Long Beach Boys and Girls Club. Long Beach won. Yes.
Thanks to you. Thanks to your leadership. So I'm sure they appreciate all that you've done for them. So
Yeah.
uh, so next question for you. What was now with the with your business now at Illery, how long have you been in business for, Ron?
I've been doing well. The shop Illery has been open for it was 4 years in September. September, I want to say 17th. That
Okay.
was our 4 year anniversary. So Illery's been going on for 4 years, but man, I've been customizing and restoring for almost 16 years.
Wow.
Dang.
What was your first customization that you made, like, if you can remember?
Oh, the first custom I actually did actually got into a magazine. It was I want to say a Dunk Low Pro white and obsidian. It had an all white leather upper and then a white midsole and an obsidian outsole. And I did a custom for the band. I put the band logo on there. I put a couple of kind of like plaid stripes on the front, and it faded from orange to red to going backwards. And it made in the Sneaker Freaker magazine.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a contest. Of course, mine was weak as fuck, but compared to everybody else's, but it got in a magazine, and that's the first time that I started getting orders because people saw that custom and like, man, I saw your work in blah 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 blah, and sure enough, they got a custom from me, and it just ballooned from there. Yeah,
Wow, that's awesome, man. So Sneaker Freaker, that's a lot of people didn't know about that magazine, and they were up
yeah.
there with like Soul Collector and
Right.
you
I
know
like the fact that it was a little book.
yeah,
It wasn't like a big ass magazine. It was just like a
it's a small little pamphlet book,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
That shit was dope.
Do you still have a copy of that
Yeah, I have the big book. The one that they had the actual contest in. I think I got rid of it or it got messed up too bad. But they had this one issue called the Big Book, and it
Okay.
actually had that contest in there. So I picked up one of those. So I do have some validity. I could tell people, man, look.
That's awesome, man. So
Yeah.
so tell us more about Illery. Like tell us more like what your what you do at your store.
Well, I wanted to make my, I guess you could say, cobbler shop more into a boutique, and I loved selling shoes. Just the whole process since I was doing sneaker conventions back in the day. I just love the whole atmosphere, and we do customs, restorations. We consign shoes and gear, and it's my second home.
That's cool, man. So like, I'm sure like you meet all walks of life as far as like people dropping in your store, um, people asking for like restorations and requests. So what's the what's the most requested soul swap that your customers inquire for, and what's the timeline for you to to complete it?
The most requested restoration I get is the soul swap for a Jordan 1, whether it be the 1.5 swap or bringing back uh, the souls for, Chicago's Royals and stuff like that. So the soul swap. And then a close second is the Supreme Blazer soul swap as well. A lot of people have been asking for that. And time frames right now are about 6 weeks. I'm usually working on about 30 to 40 pairs a month.
Sheesh.
And yeah. So forgive
Wow.
me, but the good thing about it is that if there's a delayed time, I do contact the client, but usually it's never more than a couple of days if there is a delay. So just remember that the time frames are kind of 2 to 3 day here or there from it, but most of the times, probably about 80% of the time, maybe even 85%, I do it on the due date that they request, or that is the first available day for the due date. So yeah.
So do customers give you like when you give them a set date, do they like push it back or push it forward depending on when they want the shoe? Like how does that work as far as like timeline wise?
Well, most people are comfortable with 6 weeks already. Most people, when I tell them 6 weeks, they're like, okay, cool. It gives me time to,
Save up,
pay this, pay that, right, and kind of
right?
plan for it. Other people, they want their stuff in a shorter period of time, and we do offer expedited uh, service for a fee, because if I'm gonna work overtime, you're gonna pay me to work overtime.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I know like I've seen your page in Illery. I know you've done a lot of work with like a lot of famous uh, figures, musicians, you've done athletes too, right? Like
Yeah,
sport athletes. Yeah, I remember you did the University of Long Beach March Madness. You did a custom on one of the
I forgot
players'
his
shoes.
name, man. Don't
That
put me on
was
the spot
so.
like that.
I think when I was when I think when it was like 3 years ago, 2 years
I
ago
think it's Jay something.
yeah, when I saw when that shoe, it went to I think it went to Soul Collector. Like it was on
No.
like kick shoe. Yeah, it was like the kick shoe. They did a March Madness edition. Like I think I
Oh,
saw your custom on there, and I was like, "Whoa, this looks familiar." It was like dope too. It says the beach. You did
yeah.
something I remember.
Because remember when Supreme came out,
Yeah,
they put the logos behind the netting of the Jordan 5, and then the customer was asking me for that to give him some custom ideas, and I was telling him, yo, you got to let me put the beach behind that netting. And then let me see if I can find that picture. And then when he said, yeah, do that shit, that's one of my favorite Long Beach related customs that I've done. And it's man.
I think it was a hyper dunk. I think that was like the collegiate basketball. I think because they were signed with Nike with Long Beach State. I think yeah, and then it had pine trees and it says like the beach.
Yeah, it was a 5.
Yeah, there was a five. There you go. It's a five.
Yeah, it was a Jordan 5.
There you
Oops,
go.
I think I got that shit. What albums?
What was the base of that shoe? Was it like a metallic
It was
metallic
the
five?
white metallic, the
Oh,
white
okay.
gold 5s.
Okay.
Yeah, it was those.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
Let me see if I got it.
I'm surprised you didn't see your work, man. Like it was blowing up during March Madness because they had a what did you wear today for March Madness?
Uh-huh.
Everybody was like wearing retros, which doesn't make sense for your feet. But like
Right.
I'm saying, like this was your time to shine. It was like win or go home. Yeah, and then when Long Beach State, like when they won that first round, and then they went to the next round, it was like super dope, man. Like, I knew that was your shoe, man, because I think you posted it on your Instagram.
Right. I'm gonna try to find it. I'm gonna find it. But go
So
ahead.
yeah, so while you're finding it, I know you also did you did Dave Chappelle shoes too, right? Was it like a Nike Dunk that you had it restored?
Actually, it was I think one of the grips or something that worked
Okay.
on the Chappelle show. I guess everyone got a pair
Okay.
of these shoes, and his were so beat up, but he was still in contact with Dave Chappelle. And he said, "Man, I want to get these restored, and I want to show them to Dave, you know, that I still got them." So when I restored them, you know, he was happy with it. But there you go.
That's it. There you go. That was it.
There you
You need to find yourself on the internet, Ron. It's floating up there. You have to Google like March Madness Long Beach State.
I'll
Like
Google it.
your stuff is there, dude. Like yeah, like there was like action pictures too. Dude was like laying it up.
But it said nothing about me though.
No, his shoe was it was different. You know what I mean? Like it stood out.
Right.
Like I knew it was a custom
Right.
because somebody did it and you know that was you.
I had fun doing that shoe too. I had a lot of fun. It was my first time replacing the netting, and then a lot of people started requesting that too. A lot of companies started getting customs with their name behind that netting, and it looked hella solid.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Wow, when I was looking at it, like it was different because you know, like you were saying, it had the beach, and then it had those things on the sole.
The palm trees.
Palm trees. Yeah, it looked like In and Out. That was like a little bit, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
Super dope. And then you were also sharing to me when I visited your shop. There was a guy that you were storing a pair of Tiffany Dunk Lows. I think it was like the biggest like shoes like Tiffany size I've ever seen. It was like a 14 or 15.
15.
Who was that, if I don't mind asking?
That was Gary from Dunk Exchange.
Oh, there you go. There
Gary,
you go.
yeah. He gets his stuff done all the time. And Gary, appreciate your business. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Gary, one of the OGs in the game too, man. He's the one who basically started this whole sneaker convention type of deal. And you know, I remember going to the first one he ever did. It was small, but man, it had so much heat when I think about it now. Jeff was there. He had all the Supreme stuff, and he had one of his guys rocking. What was it? I think it was a Paris on one foot, and some Londons on the other foot. And I was like, man, that's going bananas over here.
And that was at a sneaker convention, right? Like,
yeah, that was Gary's Dunk Exchange.
Yeah, Dunk Exchange. Wow. Yeah. What size were those Tiffany's? 14, 15?
15.
I
Yeah,
thought
he got two size 15. No, I think one's a 14 and one's a 15.
I'm sure he's like one of the very few that has that size because
yeah, you got two of them. I think it's two 15s. Nobody got two 15s. Gary does.
Wow. that joint looked like a boat, like for real. And then, yeah, like props to him, you know, something that we've never seen. So another thing with customs, what's the most difficult swap that you had to make for a customer?
The most difficult swaps, and the reason why I don't do them now, are for like OG Jordan 6s or OG Jordan 4s, just for the bread 4s, is because over time that material, it just gets brittle. That nubuck, that beautiful fucking nubuck on top, it just gets brittle, and there's no way to really clamp down or tape down that shoe to get the swap fitted right. So that's why I just don't even offer it anymore. Or I tell them like, hey man, like I'm not responsible if all this nubuck comes up, you know, because it's gonna come up. And I tell them it's not recommended to swap it, just to keep it in that form and just put it up on the shelf looking nice and butter without, you know, anyone manhandling it.
Yeah. So, you know, like for me as a customer, like I was actually one of the very privileged and very few that actually to swap my 6s, if you still remember that.
I
my
do
2000 pair.
remember
Yeah, you saw the sole;
that.
it
And
was
that's why I
crumbling,
say
man. Bro, that's why like after that, like I had my time with them. After wearing them, like you know what, like I had my time with these shoes. I had to give them away now. Like so, I sold
yeah.
them. You know, it was time to move on. I've had my memories with the shoe. This shoe is like 20 years old now. God forbid these soles are gonna crumble. They're gonna deteriorate. So I didn't want to be responsible anymore. And
Yeah.
I wore them a couple times. Like you were telling me, like you're like messaging me like, are the soles still good? Like they're not separating? Like, yeah, they're good, man. Like
Just that
recommend.
new
Yeah,
buck.
I get it now. I get it. Like that new buck.
And the thing is in the sixes, that infrared six is my favorite colorway of that shoe. With that material too, man. It's so butter. I
You
love
like you
that
like
shoe.
the 2000 pair, like the 2000 retro, right?
That's 2014 was the pink one, right?
Yeah, I didn't like
Yeah.
that one. The one with the jump
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Man, I love that shoe.
yeah. That's why, like for me, like with what we were telling, like we've always had these memories with shoes. I'll always like I can talk about it like night and day, but I don't have them no more. It was
Yeah.
just time to move on. Just like with
Yeah.
everything.
And that's why I tell people if don't rat hole some shoes if you're just gonna wear them anyway, because if you don't wear them, that midsole, that foam midsole, if it doesn't get flexed once in a while, it's just gonna turn to dust on you. So wear your shoes. Make sure to wear your shoes. The only shoes that could really hold up are like Jordan 1s, and I want to say, and Dunks.
So with
Those shoes
threes too,
last
you
forever.
gotta wear them like once in a while too,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Anything with that foam midsole, you gotta
Jeez,
wear them, man. You gotta wear them. They crumble like no other, man.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So tell us more about one of your customizations that you've done. I know you get this you get hit up a lot. You've done a Kobe 3, right? Like the white
Yeah.
home colorway. So tell us more about that. Like how did that first started and how with your process.
Well, of course, when people see PEs, they want that custom, and it was no different with the Kobe Jordan 3. Once they released the first one to do it with my boy Luis, when I still had Loaded, actually, he had some Pure Money 3s.
Oh,
So
okay.
I even had to repaint the elephant print on them. But he's the first one that I did it for, and I think he's still got them to this day. He also got done some Kobe PE, the Adidas joints, the ones that he gave to LeBron to play in his game, but they were 14 and LeBron wore 15 or whatever. I
Wow.
did those actual customs, and he still has them to this day. I did an exact PE version of that. Most people, when they do the flag,
Oh,
stars,
the USA flag, the Kobe 2s.
yeah.
Okay.
Most people, when they do that USA, the stars on the flag, they don't do it right. Like it's kind of like a wavy flag that's in motion, not just stars put on the shoe. But yeah, that shoe was dope.
So how important is the detail? Like when you're especially back then, like we couldn't fit like PEs for like NBA players, right? How important is for you, for you to look at every angle of like the shoe? I'm sure you look at so many photos, right? Like you look at left, right, up, down, bottoms.
I try to get as many photos as I can.
Yeah. So do you do like like a rendition first? Like you do like a prototype before you start customizing, what you're doing?
Nah.
You just do it.
Basically, when they tell me the customs, I'm already thinking what colors to mix for the paint matches. Which materials, like on the Jordan 3s, that I got to change out. It had that most people were using the Katrina 3s to make that custom, so it had that red backing behind the tongue. And when I saw it, I was like, man, this material has to change, because when you paint that felt, the material changes its softness or whatever. Even if you use whatever kind of additive you add to the paint, it still changes the material. So I wanted to change that fabric, and I think that's what set me apart from everyone that was doing it. Was I was actually changing that back fabric to look more like the PE.
Right.
You had to put like a goldenrod felt on back of, on the back of it to make it look kind of like how it did in the pictures. So I did a white version. Probably did about 10 of those. I've done the black version a couple of times, and I've done kind of like my own version of it. Did you see that one as well? It was
Which one is
it was
that?
a black Jordan 3, and then it had 2 checks on it. It had the purple check and had the gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
I've seen that.
they had the logo on it too. I changed the material on that. I think that one was dope. So
Wow, that's awesome, man. So like, do you still? I'm sure you still get to this day. I mean, especially when Kobe passed, do you still get hit up with those like Kobe PEs? I think you've done one recently, right? Like this year.
yeah, I've done a lot of Kobe pieces, and when he first passed, I was crushed, man, and I wanted to see as many Kobe's in my hands as possible. So for I believe it was 2 weeks, anyone who brought a Kobe shoe in, I would clean it for free, just to chop it up with a Kobe fan, and I think that helped with the healing. I think there was about maybe 10 to 20 people that came,
Mm-hmm.
throughout the 2 weeks for the cleaning, and yeah, that really helped because it was tough, and it's still tough.
It is.
Yeah,
It is. I mean, even when the Lakers won it all this year, it's still you still think about it, right? That's the
yeah,
first guy you think about because he would have been there too. Like he would have been celebrating with LeBron.
yep,
They would
and
have
his
been.
daughter. That's what kills me the most is
Yeah,
he was his daughter. So, but yeah.
yeah. It's tough, man. All right, so another question for you, Ron. Having a lot of sneaker shops in LA, what's the most difficult part of opening up a sneaker shop?
the the time and dedication. A lot of people don't realize it. So most people think that when you open a business that you're in the back smoking weed or you're just chilling out or whatever. That's not the case. When you open a business, you're actually working more hours than you do for a regular job. You're putting 12 hours in, you're putting 13, 14, 15 hours in. Because most people think that, when you have a business, you're there, then you come home, you don't think about the business, but you do, so shit.
Like, do you bring your work home? Like, as far as like, oh, I gotta finish this up, or do you just work is work for you? When I get home, I'm just being a family man. I'm in my man cave watching basketball or whatnot. Do you
Right.
do you separate those two things?
Well, you have to because when you love something, you got to put 100% into it, right? Because that's something you do for something that you love. So when I'm at the shop and I love the shop, I'm 100% there. But when I come home, I love my kids, I love my family, so I'm 100% that when I'm here. I if I got to bring stuff home, that's basically almost. It rarely happens that I bring stuff home, and it's mainly because when I go to the shop, I'm so focused. That's why I had to hire a couple people because I need them to run the floor. Most people they like to chat it up, and I've made some good friends, and I don't like to not go out there and greet them because I have a lot of personal connections and personal relationships with these people. Like you, Dan. You know, your kids. Whenever you come in and you're not with your son, I'm like, oh, he didn't bring them today. So that might be one of my vices, I guess. Maybe not a vice. It's a good thing and a bad thing because sometimes it takes me away from my work, but I like to connect. I'm a people person. I like to talk a lot, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's nice, right? Like you have shoes and you know shoes, right? They're just shoes, sports. Like they all connect with each other.
Yeah.
Um, it's a common bond that everybody, streetwear, like Supreme, everybody has something to say about it. Like as far as like negative, positive, your opinion, that's your opinion. So I think those are good things that those are good attributes to have as a store owner. Like you're just here to like hear people, you know what I mean? Hey, like can you help me out with this shoe? And then you're honest, like you'll tell me, well, and then I came up to you like, hey Ron, like can you do this shoe? And then you'll be upfront to me, hey, like I'm just letting you know, like this shoe in this condition, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I can do it, but to me, it wouldn't be worth the time that you're going to be investing. So I respect that, because a lot of businesses,
actually, yeah, I've turned down a lot of jobs because I'm a sneakerhead, and when another sneakerhead comes in my shop and they want their shit done, I'm gonna let them know as a sneakerhead, yo, unless you have some kind of emotional attachment to this shoe, like your grandmother who passed away maybe bought you that shoe, or it was the last present your dad gave you, I'm down to restore that, But some people, it's not gonna happen, It's not worth it if you're trying to wear it or whatever. It's gonna fall apart at the end. So
that's good. Yeah, of course, because you have to maintain that thin line between business and the personal stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you're advising.
There was one time there was this one cat. Older gentleman came in. He had an OG pair of Jordan 1s. And he wanted me to make them look brand new. I said, man, I'm not gonna do it. I said, the way this shoe sits right now, it was rough, but he would have did more harm to the shoe if he would have painted it all and tried to make it look new than to just keep it like that and just put it up in a case somewhere. I told him that, and the job would have ran probably like $600-700 to restore the whole thing, because he wanted to remove panels and put more stuff on. I'm like, dog,
Oh my! It's a 35-year-old shoe. Like, why are you gonna paint over something? That's a piece of history, right? Like,
right. If you wanted something new, something to wear, just get the retros of those.
Get the 2011, 13s or
right,
whatnot.
Right. So I had to turn down that job, man. Just as a sneakerhead who knows that shoe and just loves the vintage quality and aesthetic of it being worn and maybe drugged through the mud. That just adds character to the shoe, and that shoe had a lot of character, and I wasn't going to try to change that.
Like the heel drag and everything, the paint chipping, leather chipping, laces all chewed up.
The collar was in back. Well, actually, the one thing that was good on those shoes were the damn laces. They were in good condition.
Wow.
And, the plastic eyelets and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, as I wouldn't restore an 85 one. Like, I think worst case, like if the shoe is falling apart, maybe the sole, like you can sew them back up. But that's about it.
You know what I'm saying? Just leave them beat up like that. It's more of a talking piece when they're worn like that than one that's brand spanking new. Well, if it's brand spanking new, that's hell of a talking piece. But one that's worth the brand spanking new, nah.
So what's the most outrageous or craziest request that you've ever gotten from a customer from a restoration standpoint?
The funniest was one of my boys. He said, man, I want to be gangster when I walk around the house. He had me put polar bear fur, replica polar bear fur, of course, into some house shoes. Those little gangster slippers, little corduroy.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So he had me make some of those. That was crazy.
Like the Gucci joints with the heel, or is it on the what I'm talking about?
The regular house slippers that you get at the swap meet.
Wow, that's crazy.
The custom costs more than damn shoes.
Yo, and how long did that take you to complete that?
It took like a day and a half.
A day. Wow.
Most of the time, I was trying to find a polar bear fur.
Where do you find polar bear fur? Like, you have to.
Man, you go to Michael's or Joann's. I was just using the shit from over there.
I thought you were gonna go to like a beauty
that place.
I thought you were gonna go to like a beauty shop and use like real hair.
I'm making Barbies, bro.
The Barbie type right here. Yo, that's so funny, man.
Yeah.
So nice segue to sports. I see in the background, you got your man cave. You a diehard Laker fan. So as a diehard Laker fan, and considering what everybody went through this year, especially Kobe and Gianna, as a Laker fan, how does it feel for your favorite NBA team to win the NBA championship this year? And in this day of this current pandemic, and with Kobe passing, so
I
how
think it was good. I think it was good for the NBA. And to tell you the truth, I think it was good for those NBA teams that made it farther than we all expected, because I believe the bubble had a big impact in the play of a lot of these teams. When you don't have the crowd noise and the home court advantage, that really makes a difference. I think if there was home court advantage, we probably would have swept all those teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, because before the pandemic, Lakers were rolling, man. They were just beating any team. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys just beat Milwaukee, before you guys lost to Brooklyn. I mean,
It was sad what happened to Milwaukee. They fell apart.
that's a different story. Like,
They got hella
you
exposed.
can't blame injuries. The reason why they lost. I mean, everybody got injuries, right? Everybody had.
It's part of the game. It's part of the game.
Part of the game, yeah.
If Shaq didn't get injured when we had Karl Malone and Gary Payton,
Oh man,
then we would have won that too, man.
You think so? Over that 04 Piston team?
Come on, man. Karl Malone and Gary Payton and Shaq and Kobe. Come on, bro.
Oh man, I mean, I have to give it though. Like, Karl Malone was a little banged up, like coming into the finals. And then GP was past his prime already. He was on his last leg. So that, I mean, as a basketball fan, like I was surprised that 04 Piston team like took you guys in 5 games. The way they just like handled like Shaq, like you got this, Ben Wallace is like 6'9", and he's just putting Shaq out of position, which is crazy. You know, I remember that. And then Kobe was getting his, but no one else was doing anything. And that was the frustrating part with him, because he was so determined to win. And that's what broke the camel's back when, they had to trade Shaq the following year.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I see you got Magic, you got Worthy, you got Kobe, Shaq. Who's your top 5 Laker? In your opinion?
Lakers?
Yeah, your starting 5. Give me your starting 5.
Shit. Oh.
I'll give you 6. One bench, 1 6
Okay,
man.
give me
I'll
one
give
bench.
you 6. One 6 man, and then your starting 5.
All right. So Shaq is my center.
Okay.
Fuck, this is hard.
Because you got all that Lakers stuff in the background, so I had to ask you.
Okay, Shaq is my center. But damn, 5? Jesus. Shaq is my center. Kobe is my 2. Fuck.
You can put a center on a 4 if you want.
But see, I want to do that, but my favorite player is James Worthy.
All right. So no starting 5. I'll give you 6. Give me your top 6 like favorite.
Okay, good. Shaq, Kareem, Kobe, Magic. Shaq, Kareem, Kobe, Magic. James Worthy. Shaq, Kareem, Kobe.
You should look in the back in your house and just look at the jersey. All right, you said Shaq,
Kobe, Worthy, Magic, Kareem. Damn.
I'll give you one more.
Fuck, man. Fuck.
All right, I'll give you 10.
LeBron. LeBron's my last one.
LeBron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I ain't never seen Jerry West in like play, you know?
We always saw him as a logo, right? On the NBA jersey. That's about it. Yeah.
No, he's great, dog. And
Yeah,
he's
he
a
was
great
great.
whatever he does. He's
Yeah,
put what, the Clippers together, Memphis
yeah.
Grizzlies together, the
Golden State
Warriors
together.
together.
Yep.
Ah,
He
that
got
dude,
Kobe for y'all. You guys didn't even know who Kobe was.
nah, that dude was a steal for
Yo,
Diva.
I remember. I remember. Like I was like, I was a kid. You guys were people were heated in California because you guys love Divock. You're like, why
We
you
did,
gonna get this little like 17-year old like kid? I remember. That
Then he
was
shot all them air balls. And we're like, oh, give it to this dude. He ended
yeah,
up being the best player ever. Well, not ever.
So
MJ the best.
which one is your what's your favorite Laker team? Like which year?
My favorite year was the year before they won the championship, when they had Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, Kobe, Shaq. Fuck.
Oh man, that's the 98. That's the 98
Yeah,
team.
that's 98 team. That's
That was when all four of them made the All-Star team. It was like Eddie Jones, Van Exel, Kobe, and Shaq. That was wild. That
yeah,
was a wild ass team.
Van Exel was a shit. And Eddie Jones calling out steals before a game. Yeah, he was my favorite player back in the days on the Lakers. Eddie Jones during the non-championship seasons.
So like you said you like James Worthy. Like what makes him your favorite player?
Because he's kind of like me, man. Just not all flashy, just low key putting in the work, getting the Finals MVP. By just putting in the work, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
Just hard nosed.
He did have that lunch pail, attitude.
Yep.
Like he just came
Yep.
into work.
And he put it in too.
So if I had to ask you, like, when you guys lost to the Bulls in '91, how did that feel for you, for Jordan to win his first championship in LA?
I was like, man, and this is against Magic. Well, this is a torch being passed. This dude is too good. When he did that layup and brought it to the other hand, I was like, oh, dude, the team just got shook right now. This shit is over.
But you guys won that game though, because Sam Perkins.
Yeah. But
I mean, did you ever watch games at the Forum? Like, what was that like?
I did. The atmosphere there was way better than Staples Center because it was very intimate. There was low light in the stands, and yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, it was a lot more, I guess you could say, romantic in there.
Yeah, it was nice because you guys had that. I can't like that lower bowl was dark, right? And all you see was just like the spotlight, at the bottom of the
on the court.
On the court.
That's where I met Chick Hearn too. I got his autograph. We were sitting probably like a couple rows above his box, and I ran down there. It was during Gail Goodrich's retirement. That's when Eddie Jones had to change from 25 to wearing 6 because they retired Gail Goodrich, who wore 25. They retired his number. And I got it on a little, man, I gotta find that shit. I have it on a little pamphlet for that night. It was a little brochure saying Gail Goodrich's retirement, and I had it signed.
That's dope, man. So you're missing a LeBron jersey, right? Like in your
yeah, I'm gonna put it up. I bought one. I wasn't sold on him in the beginning, as all of us weren't. Look, here's the case with LeBron. It's just like the case with Jordan. For me, LeBron was good. He was hella good. Like when you watched him on other teams, like he's too damn fucking good. But that's the reason why I hated him, because he wasn't on my team. Like I hated Michael Jordan. A lot of people are like, oh, I've never hated Michael Jordan. Man, you ain't never seen Michael Jordan dominate and shit on your team every night. So I hated Michael Jordan. But I loved his shoes. But I hated him as a player because it's one simple fact. He wasn't on my fucking team. That's why. And that's the same hate that I had for LeBron because he wasn't on my fucking team. The dude is too good. Like there's players that you're like, man, if that dude was on my team, we would kill. And that's what happened. At first I was like, man, we don't even need him. I hate that dude. When we got on the team, started balling. Look, His jersey about to be hung up in here.
There you go. There you go. You gotta have you gotta have Hero, pull the tassel like in the, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have the Spotlight 23.
Yeah.
On
I
there.
ain't gonna be on Spotlight. Shit.
No, not yet.
Spotlight. Come on, that's one.
Yeah, for me too. Like I hated LeBron because like me as a Wizard fan, like when he was with Cleveland, hated his ass. Like he always we couldn't get past him. So when I liked LeBron is when he went to the Heat, because that was when I knew that everybody was like shitting on him. All this hate, like, oh, you created a super team, you can't do it. Like when they lost to Dallas and back in 2011, and then when they won back to back, like he gained my respect. Like, you know what, like he can win. But there's like any other team, like they need help. Like KG teamed up with Paul Pierce and Ray Allen and Steph Curry, and you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have supporting cast. You can't. The NBA has changed. Cast. You can't just win with one superstar. You need like at least two.
Because with the defense they play now, it really clogs the lane, So driving is like, unless you're dribbling like Kyrie.
So you guys think will win back to back next year?
It's gonna be difficult because you have teams like I just said, like Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. They gonna come out fire for the East. Then you have Golden State, who just their boys was just on injury, so they had like a little vacation. I know they're working hard. I'm just playing, but they're just chilling out for the playoffs. But you have them. Houston is still a problem. The Clippers are still a problem. I would have loved to see the Clippers play the Lakers so we could squash the shit, but they just couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's a travesty. Like I think everybody got cheated, on that.
Everybody got cheated.
We got cheated. No, we got that's what everybody wanted, right? Like everybody wanted that Clippers Lakers. But Clippers couldn't.
They didn't want that Denver smoke though. That's what happened.
Well, they got smoked, man. Like 3-1. Really? Like that's a choke job. That's why Doc ain't there no more.
Yeah.
And like with Paul George, I think they can't recuperate all the assets they traded for him.
Yep.
All those first rounders, they got nothing to trade for the next.
And all their players are on free agency now, right?
Yeah, I think Montrezl Harrell, like their big man, he's on.
That's a key dude right there.
Shit, he might go to the other Lakers, the other like LA team. But y'all got McGee already. Y'all got Dwight Howard.
Oh, we might be losing Dwight Howard to Golden State though.
Oh man. So what's your who do you want who do you want the Lakers to sign for next offseason that will get you guys back up? Any player that
I would love for them to sign what should have happened before, but what got vetoed was a Chris Paul. If Chris Paul comes, he's gonna get one too. That's a guarantee. Chris Paul is super tight. He's been tight since he was since he came in the league with Charlotte. That dude's been sick. If we had him, I can see why NBA vetoed that because we would kill people.
Yeah, the thing worries about me about Chris Paul is that he commands the ball, right? And LeBron and AD commands the ball too. And you've seen that experiment with Harden, in 2 years with Houston. So,
but we also saw the success with Rajon Rondo. When Rajon Rondo was handling the ball, he was probing and doing all that stuff and getting passes out. That's what he was doing. Same thing that Chris Paul could do, but Chris Paul is a much better shooter than Rajon Rondo.
That's true.
And he's a lot more clutch because he's been in those situations before. But I don't know what we're going to trade for him because I kind of love the team that we have now. We just need probably another big dude. JaVale McGee might be on his way out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I mean, y'all got the Antetokounmpo too. First. There you go.
Yeah.
Like he was his brother was very supportive, but You never know. You might have Giannis to the Lakers. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. There you go. All right, so we're almost done here. Let's see. Last question for you, Ron. Like I said, thanks again for coming on tonight. You ask me a question.
Ask you a question.
Yep.
Shit. What do you think about this? You're a connoisseur of sneakers, and you visited a lot of sneaker shops. What do you think that we offer that nobody else offers?
That's a good question. As far as from other stores that I've been to,
Yeah.
I think for me, this is my opinion. What you offer that no other shops do is I would say you have a personal touch with customers. The way, and I don't know, I don't have like relationships with other people, like with like Jeff is a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see him at Riff, I dap him up. Um, and he gets a lot of volume. And I've been to Cool Kicks. They're okay. Um, I think for you, you're more personable as far as like you're greeting your customers. You're asking, hey, like, hey man, how's your son? Like you always ask me how's my son doing. That means a lot to me. You know what I mean? Like, cause you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I also ask, hey, how's your fam, man?
Right.
It just only takes like a minute or two just to say, how are you doing? Especially when what happened to you, the whole riot stuff. You know, I messaged you like, hey man, I just want to check to see how you're doing. Hope you're staying safe. You hit me up, yeah,
Yeah.
if you need someone to talk to. Like we just vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like me and you, we vibe like that. It's more personable, like with your customers, like you're actually getting to know them, even though like you don't even um know them like that. I remember when I went to your store, like I think it was a couple that moved in, like in the neighborhood. It was like a white couple, I remember. And hey, I'm Ron, this is my shop. And they were just like in awe, like, wow, what are these shoes? And then you were explaining to them, yeah, this is a cosignment shop. I actually do restoration, which is like I did, I design shoes, whatever customers want. They vary with prices. You're very straightforward. You don't fickle like, oh, you can't afford this. This is like a Jordan, or this is like a high end like Dior shoe. You tell it as it is, and you're very honest. You know, Honesty. Yeah, I think the honesty part is also big, especially when where you're doing the restoration thing. You're gonna be upfront. Hey, like I can do it for you, but this it's not worth it. And then that makes me think, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna just keep it the way it is. Um, and and I hope you continue your much success. I think that's your secret sauce, like with Illery. And I hope you continue to do that and have that positive approach. And I think it all stemmed from your time at Boys and Girls Club. Like I get it now. I get
Yeah.
I get it why you're to where you are now, like that's why you're so successful in everything that you do. And this is coming from me like as a friend to you, like, and also as a customer. Like it all makes sense for me. Like it makes sense now. Like, hey, this is why Ron is so successful in what he does. He's a family man. Like you get to know your customers on a personal level. You listen to customers, which is very important because a lot of stores they're just, oh yeah, this shoe is 500. Okay, here, wrap it up. You actually have the time. Hey, like this shoe, you know what I'm saying? Like you were telling me, oh yeah, I remember this shoe is hard to find. Like I remember like I only saw this shoe like maybe once or twice. You know what I mean? Like don't that kind of stuff. Like it adds more value, and it adds more like memories too. you know so I hope that you and you continue to have much continued success with what you do. And, you know, like what you always say, you look with your, you know, you do what you love and love what you do, right? You actually speak that into existence. So I
Yep.
hope, you know, continue to do what you do, Ron. And then, you know, you're just you haven't seen like the best yet, in my opinion. Like you just started. You're what? You're an OG 15, 20 years, you know, up there. And then you've had your store like 4 years plus. You're gonna do great things, man.
Thanks, man. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday. I'm not trying to compete against anybody. You know, they're doing. People are have other shops. They're doing their own thing, and I congratulate them. You know, there's enough room for everybody to eat. You just gotta put the work in. And like I said, I'm just trying to spread love. You know, there's so much hate in the world. A smile and a hello, a greet goes a long way for someone who's been having a bad day. So I'm just trying to spread the love because I love what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to make sure I reflect that. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, for sure, man. Hey, so this is episode 18 with the Dandin and our Jimmy Tiso podcast. So thank you, Ron of Illery of Long Beach. And can you want to just plug in like your social media and where they can find you?
IG's at Illery. Basically, all the information's on there. We don't have a phone, so don't call the number on Yelp because it's just all fives.
Yeah, put a 5-star review on Yelp. You know what I'm saying? Like he's on Yelp. That's how I first time I saw try to find you because I remember when you moved to from Fullerton to Long Beach. Like where's Illery? And then when I put Illery in on Google, it went to Yelp, and then Yelp took me to your page, like where your address was. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, man. All right, well, so yeah, thank you so much, Ron, and you know, hopefully we can have you again. You know, we can show us maybe more of your work.
Yeah.
Maybe try to get you on the shop. You know, we can do some more like that. You know, when all this COVID stuff is much more settled and it's over. You know,
Yep.
we like to get you in the shop. You know, check you out, do all that stuff, man.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Peace.